join with Chris after a 1-1 draw, top of the table clash, wasn't it? But it was quite a dominating game from us in the first half, and then it completely changed after half time, didn't it?
It did go flat. It was top of the table clash in league positions, but not in quality really. I didn't think there was a tremendous amount of quality. I thought Derby were really limited actually in terms of ambition and in terms of what we saw from them. I think probably the two strikers out had a role to play in that, but yeah, it petered out a little bit from us, and of course, well, we'll talk about it, but horrible way to let 2 points slip through our fingers.
Yeah, slip through your fingers is quite apt, isn't it, for the way that they scored? But I mean, of all the ways to concede, John Ruddy, who has really bounced back from his poor run of form at the start of the season, hasn't he? Was it just confidence, or was it just one of those things that happen?
It's a horrible thing. I wish every keeper would have done something like it. I think with John, for me, the problem is that he doesn't dominate his 6-yard box. So that went in at about shoulder or waist high for John, because he seemed to be crouched. The question I ask is, why isn't John coming out 5 yards and attacking the ball and taking it high? And he consistently doesn't do that. He doesn't dominate his 6-yard box. The ball shouldn't be getting to him on his goal line anyway. It's still a horrible error, but I think the first mistake is not dominating the 6-yard box.
Yeah, I mean, the second half contrasted quite sharply with the first half, and I think the defence as well were quite weak, and you could sense the crowd a bit nervous whenever Basong or Martin had the ball. Was that just because we wanted to play out from the back, or were they just getting too cocky and too over-dramatic almost?
Well, I think the tactic is clearly to play out from the back. It does make us all a bit nervous. We're getting to a stage of the season where everything counts now, and we don't want a silly error to come from playing out from the back. But that's clearly a tactic. But again, Derby didn't threaten us despite all that, despite us feeling a bit jittery in the crowd. Derby didn't look like they were going to score to me. They didn't look to be a threat. I felt we were comfortable at 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, the second half, when Derby was starting to turn the tide and it was starting to come back to us, do you think Neil perhaps should have changed it a bit more? I mean, he brought on one player, but perhaps we needed Redmond or maybe even Andrew or someone along those lines.
I was surprised he didn't give Nathan Redmond at least 15 minutes. He's an impact player. He can do something. Particularly after the equaliser, I felt there was a time there where it's worth a gamble on Redmond coming on.
We're going to touch on the teams above us. They won, of course, 69 points they're on. We're on 66. It's still only 3 points, isn't it? At this stage of the season, it's become almost a 9-game season, isn't it? That's all it is. It's whoever picks up the most points. Are we still going to get those top 2 places?
I'm still reasonably confident we will, but it's going to be a real scrap. I think we can guarantee that on the 2nd of May, when Fulham come to Carrow Road, there's something going to be on that game. I don't think 2 other teams will have run away with it. I think we'll be in the mix, and you're right, it's going to go all the way now, I think.